What did you just say?
No more. Are you going to be okay? There's no more Russ this year.
Russ is in the rapper?
Russ is in the big city,
Mr. Unlimited?
the Big Apple.
Wait, what happened?
He just signed a 1-year deal with the Giants.
No way. Oh my god. I don't even have Twitter, so I don't even know where I would see this.
How do you not have Twitter?
I'm a YouTube guy. That's where I get all my updates from random people. Wait, really? So, all right. So I guess the big question has been the Steelers and Giants are the only teams without a quarterback because the Titans are going to take Cam Ward number 1. So Russ is gone. Why do you think the Steelers didn't want to keep Russ?
I have no idea. Steelers are delusional. They're the worst organization in football.
Well, they have the worst facilities from what I've heard. I think it's because I forget what game it was. He was good when he first started, but then there was this one drive. I don't know if it was the last game of the year, maybe the last regular season game. I don't know if it was the playoff game where he just looked like he didn't know what he was doing. He looked like a JV quarterback just went into a varsity game, was super nervous, and we're like, you're Russ. What are you doing? Like, this is where you shine. You don't have to worry about an offensive coordinator. You're in total control. And it was just,
Well, Russ stinks.
it was terrible.
Russ
So,
stinks regardless. So
wow.
I'm with you, but seems like the Steelers are just gonna bottom out. I mean,
Yeah,
what?
good for him just saying, like, I'm not waiting for Aaron Rodgers. I respect that.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I was shocked when they got DK Metcalf. I thought that there would be a good chance that Russ returned because they're boys.
Yeah, you could kind of tell that DK was trained. Like, he didn't really say much about Russ. Like, I bet they were like, "Hey, like, we're not gonna sign Russ. I know that's your guy, but like, don't be like making hints in your introductory press conference that he's our
Yeah,
guy,
that's
because
fair.
he's not gonna be."
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, the Steelers are the most interesting franchise in football. I feel like they have a decent squad besides just not having a quarterback.
I don't know. I feel like their squad's a little overrated is how I look at it
Yeah,
personally. But I think that
you're
they
sleeping
are
on Darius Slay.
I, he's a little old. I just think that they probably need to enter some sort of rebuild. They've been in this lull of like purgatory ever since Big Ben has been at the end of his career and then obviously retired, and they almost don't want to accept the fact that they need to bottom out. And I think that at a point this team was, like you said, like a really good squad. I think that their offensive skill group, even adding DK Metcalf, is pretty overrated. And on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, TJ Watt gets older every single year. He seems to always be banged up when it matters most. And I forget what the stat was exactly off the top of my head, but like his last like 125 snaps of the season, he didn't even register one single stat. So
Yeah,
not
he was bad.
falling off a cliff, but ultimately, like that defense, like Cam Hayward's weight is so old. TJ Watt's getting older. Minka Fitzpatrick's getting older. Years and years go by that I think that squad starts to look a little more normal than special as they were like a few years ago.
It's so interesting because everyone talks about how they haven't had a losing season, but that just means you're drafting like 20 every single year, which they are, and you just can't get a great player at 20. And they've drafted terribly the last couple years
I'd argue you
in the
can get a
first
great.
round.
I argued you can get a great player in the 20s and even later. I just think that they've proven that they're not great at drafting.
Yeah. They've honestly been great in like the second and third round and even
Yeah,
later, but their first round picks, if you look at who they've drafted, horrible.
it's been bad.
It's really bad. Wow, it's so interesting. So, like, what do you think is going through Aaron Rodgers' mind? Like, I don't think that he wants or cares that everyone's talking about him, like everyone's saying in the media. But what do you think is really going on in his
I
head?
completely disagree with that.
Really?
I think Aaron Rodgers is like the biggest. He loves to act like he's like different and all this shit. But sorry for swearing. But he's an attention seeker. Like every move that he makes, everything that he does indicates that he absolutely loves when everybody sits around and talks about him.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he loves to go and act like but he, like you said, like, oh, he doesn't care. But if he doesn't care, why does he know every single thing that everyone says about him? Like he knows, he is dialed in on everything that is said about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he must have a guy who just collects quotes about what they're saying about him, and
I mean,
then I
Rodgers
feel like
is
he's not a social media
single.
guy.
Oh my, yeah, I think you're so wrong. Rodgers is 40 plus years old,
41.
single, no kids. Like no shade at Aaron Rodgers,
No
but like,
family.
no family. Like he doesn't talk to his mom and dad. Like that guy sits on social media. I promise you.
Oh, it's so interesting. I don't know. I part of me is like, let's just roll with Mason Rudolph. Maybe we'll have a terrible season, and then does Arch Manning come out next year? Maybe they're just going to tank for Arch.
He does. I don't know how good he is. I mean, every single year, there's obviously going to be people who are good, but I think it's more of like organizations fail quarterbacks more than quarterbacks fail organizations.
Yeah,
And I think as of right now, the Steelers have just flat proven that they aren't great at developing the quarterback position.
terrible.
So
They're really not.
I think unless if a major change is made, I think even if they have one of those top picks in the draft, you could put a young quarterback behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, yeah, you could be right, but I don't know. Like DK is weird. Like is DK really an elite $30 million a year receiver? I don't know.
I personally don't love, if you look at like DK's makeup, you'll like, if you just like, obviously don't take this anyway, but if you see him without his shirt on and him running and jumping and lifting, and he is an absolute specimen, but when he's out on the field, that doesn't really translate to his play. He's not a big bully type of player. He's more, I think he's kind of like in that tier of wide receivers, like in like the 15 to 25 range, where
Yeah,
he's decent. But if you look at a guy that size and how big and strong and fast he is, you would think that he would be like a red zone nightmare matchup. And he just doesn't, he like barely can crack double-digit touchdowns each season.
yeah. I hope they keep Pickens with them because those two are going to be menaces on the field together with
They
Mason
are.
Rudolph throwing them the rock.
This is I'm sure you've heard this analogy before, but you know when you're like building a wide receiver room, they're like kind of build it like a basketball team, like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like him and George Pickens slightly do a little bit of the same thing. And
Oh yeah,
that is like they're deep ball guys, and obviously they can take a slant to the house and at any point. They are dangerous, but it seems like they're more deep ball merchants more than anything else.
definitely. Definitely. Did you think that the Eagles were going to blow out the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Was that your prediction?
I did. I obviously I have my own YouTube channel. It's documented. I told Noah Malone he's a big Eagles fan, and I said before the game, I was like, I absolutely hate to say this to your face because I don't want to jinx it, but there's no reason why the Eagles shouldn't win this game by multiple scores.
Yeah.
And I think even the final score was a little ticky tacky. Like when
I
you
mean, it
look
was
back on it,
42-3. That was the
yeah,
final score to me.
because when they scored that first touchdown, the Xavier Worthy touchdown, it was on like Sidney Brown and
Yeah.
like a bunch of backup. So
Yeah.
yeah, that final score didn't even really indicate like how bad of a beating they got. That
It was pretty fascinating to watch. It really was.
I loved it. I know that Spencer
Wow.
Day infamously texted in a group chat afterwards and said he didn't watch the Super Bowl. Maybe the biggest lie of all time.
Definitely
You know
watched.
for a fact he watched every single second of the game. So I thought it was amazing. I am not the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan, so getting to see him struggle and look normal was nice to see, honestly.
I
Instead of
just
him,
never thought the Chiefs were that good.
no,
Like the only argument to the Chiefs winning that game was, well, they have Patrick Mahomes. They have Andy
yeah,
Reid. So, but like when you broke it down, you're like, well, they really should get blown out.
yeah.
But
Their biggest, if they would have kept it close and ugly, because that's how they win a lot of their games. Like, kind of honestly, how the Steelers win games. Like,
Yeah.
keep it low scoring, keep it ugly, and if you're able to do that, and some things bounce your way, that's what they needed to do, and they just couldn't keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun to watch with a bunch of Eagles fans.
I can imagine.
They were loving it. I finally downloaded some sports betting apps for that game and deleted them immediately after. I took advantage of like the free money that they give you, like deposit $5 will give you $150. I did that on like 4 different apps, so I had like $500 to play with, and
So it's always so fun when you get those. They don't give that.
Yeah, put
out.
together like so many different parlays, so many like first TD scores. Like I had Jahad Dotson scoring first touchdown of the game. It was like $10 to win $700 or $800, and
inches away.
I mean, literally inches away from that. I would have definitely enjoyed that game a lot more. And then I think it was like $2,500 I would have made. I would have won if Saquon scored a touchdown. So you're just kind of like kicking yourself all week. I mean, I ended up winning like 550, which like you should probably be happy about that. But you're just thinking about what could have been.
100%.
That's life. And I'm like, this sports betting is just not for me. That's why I never got involved. I don't enjoy that feeling. It messed me up for like a whole week, probably 5 days. I was messed up. I'm like, oh my God, I could have an extra $2,500 if Saquon, our guy, could have gotten the end zone one time. But you know what?
Yeah, I haven't bet since the Super Bowl. I've been saving all my money. I'm going out to Vegas, and the weekend that we're going out is the Kentucky Derby weekend. So I'm just about to lock.
Wow. So have you been like doing any research on any horses?
No research. I'm just gonna go off vibes.
You got to look up Jason Worth's horse. I mean, I don't know why, what bunch of Philly guys at the whatever the horse race was. We were at the Belmont Stakes last year. MLB, whatever they call it, World Series champion Jason Worth now is a horse breeder. Nobody knew that. His horse ended up winning. If we knew that, obviously all the Philly guys are gonna put the house on his horse.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it to do the research. What's the date of that bachelor party?
Like at the top of May.
Nice. I'm pretty sure at one point at the wedding, the FEMA wedding down in what's it called? Down in Key West, because Andrew was not there, which sucked, but McKenna, his fiance, was there. I heard through Brenneman or Kunkel or something that like she was mad that me and Kunkel weren't invited to the wedding, and then we were like gonna get sympathy invites or something. Like someone said that, and I'm just like too busy dancing on the dance floor with no shoes, shirt fully unbuttoned to like comprehend it. But I remember hearing that, and I'm just like, all right, if that's true, then like I'll get an invite in the mail. certainly was not true. No
I don't know.
Invite for us.
I have no idea if that's true, but I know that
Ben loving our crew.
I know that Ben Kunkel. Yeah, I mean, you guys are like her vibe. Like I can see that. Like I just remember Andrew Ford saying that Ben Kunkel texted him and saying the crew is not the same without you. Like, and Andrew was like, Kunkel hasn't texted me in 3 years.
Yeah, like, I mean, he got a bunch of texts from guys he hasn't heard from in a long time. I texted him too, and he sent me like some long text back, and I'll be honest, I don't even think I read the text that he sent back. I'm gonna look him up now.
Yeah, look it up.
Andrew Ford. I mean, Andrew, there's a 34-year-old GM in Jacksonville. I think Andy could be next.
I hope so. I hope so. I really do.
Just heard some terrible news that you won't be joining us at Isla Bella Resort in Key West. Excited to meet the future bride, but wish I could have introduced you to mine. 3 texts. I have so much FOMO. I wish I was there. Can't wait to meet the future Herf. Heard great things. Blah, blah, blah. Have a couple tequilas for me this weekend. No response from me. No response from me. Do you think deep down he wishes he was there? I think it was the weekend after the Super Bowl, so it's like, as a GM, that's probably when things really start to pick up. Like that is their real off-season starter. So
I know Andrew. I don't think that he was like brutally upset that he wasn't at the wedding that weekend, but
I think he would have liked to
I'm
see
I'm
us.
I'm sure any time that he could like go on a nice trip with his girl, like I'm sure that he would like to do it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But obviously, like they do stuff all the time, so I don't think he was like FOMO missing out, Andrew. I don't know. I think there's a pretty high chance I was playing Fortnite with him.
He was probably loving life, whole apartment to himself. I think he just said that line just to make us feel good that we didn't get to see him.
I think you were sitting there. I think there could have been a potential invite to the wedding, and he sent you 3 classy texts back to you, and you didn't even respond.
Yeah. I mean, talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
My God.
That's funny.
It works out because now my fiance is having her whatever it's called, bridal shower is that weekend. So Andrew, I won't be able to come. I wouldn't be able to come anyway. So
I want to say something so bad right now, but it would you wouldn't be able to repeat it, and it would have to get cut. So let's just sweep that one under the rug.
All right. Well, can you confirm that the wedding is still on
for Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's more of a knock of one of your boys, but we don't have to do that right now.
We probably all know what that is. We've all been knocking that guy, but we don't want to get into that. It's too hard to edit these podcasts to go through and discuss that. So we'll talk offline. But I mean, I think everyone knows. Have you noticed there's a shift this year where, like, I don't know if I'm just paying attention more, but it just seems like a shift where everyone is creating content, like even businesses who you wouldn't expect, like everyone sees this, and it's just kind of funny because there's people out there who I'm not necessarily fans of, but like Gary Vee's been saying for 15 years, like, make content. Like if you have a business, whatever you do, like post about it. And he's like, someday everyone will be doing it. And it feels like 2025 is the year where literally everyone is doing it. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think one, you're late if you're doing it.
Extremely late.
And if you're doing it now, you are copying a lot of what I've seen a lot of people do is more of hopping on a trend rather than trying to be original and make something that's worthwhile. So I almost question people's intent for why they're doing it. I actually texted you today about your content earlier this morning. And I said, when I watch your stuff, it's authentic to who you are as a person. And even though we are interested in polar opposite things, I appreciate all of your posts because I know that you're an authentic person behind the camera. So I think like that will resonate with people, and that's why you're going to be really successful at making content if you continue to stay like consistent with it. So I think that like the big thing this week, and I'm sure that you've noticed it too, and is these daily like routines. Dude. Is like like the fact that people like crave that sort of content is like weird to me. I don't get it at all.
It is like interesting because I ignored it for years. I think at the beginning of this year, I actually gave some attention. Hub's Life is like the first one I like gave some attention to. It is so bizarre. It's almost that like I don't really give a shit what someone's doing, but I think that a lot of the videos are very well done, and there's something that catches my attention that I just watch, like the way that it flows. I don't know if it's the way they edit it or record it.
Yeah, probably.
They like it is fascinating, but like who the hell cares? Like it is insane. And I feel like a lot of it is, I give some creators credit. Like I think that if I think I could benefit if I did this, but I don't think my ego would let me do it. But I think it keeps people disciplined, and I think there's people who set a goal or want to do something, whether it be working out or just like sticking to a routine every day, and them filming it, posting it, filming it, editing, posting it, knowing people are going to watch it, keeps them consistent, or they would give up. So I kind of give people some credit there, but some of them just feel very
Fake,
inauthentic
fake
and
as hell.
just
Fake.
fake and corny. And like I'll send you an example of someone who's doing like a day in the life, and the timestamps are like 5:55 a.m. and you look at their microwave and it says 8:35 a.m. It's like you're just lying now.
Real quick question for you. What what difference does it make if you wake up at 5 a.m. and do your stuff, or do it at 8 a.m.? Or like
It's like feeding your ego. Like
I
you
don't
are
get this.
basically telling people that you're better than them because it's at this time. But yeah, I agree. I get exactly what you're saying.
It's weird. But
It is
so
weird. It's
I
all ego driven. That's all it is.
I have actually found people's everyday routines like pretty interesting, but I read a
Yeah.
book called How Artists Work, Daily Rituals. And it goes through like literally like artists from like the early 1800s, like everything, and like go through like their writings and they break down their creative process and how they live their lives and times they wake up and everything like that. And I found that to be like pretty interesting based off of who they were as an individual, now that they were established and they lived their lives and
Yeah.
everything like that. I don't crave to see like a random guy who I don't know anything about live an authentic style of his life just because a camera's in front of him. Like
Yeah.
I like the raw authenticity in a book like that, from like historical documents where people read them and pull certain workings from it to allow you to get an inside look at somebody's life. Because at a point, like me personally, what I do like in the morning backslash in the night is almost like personal to me in a way. Like I don't want people to see where I
Yeah.
sleep. I don't want people to see my room or my bed or anything like that. I or where I go to the gym, like, or wherever where I work. It's just like that side of my life I like to probably keep a little bit more personal rather
Yeah.
than anybody on the internet that can see it.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. The daily life videos. Someone just sent me. Have you seen the one of this big black dude who gets
Yeah,
up
he's
at
the best.
3 a.m.? He might be the goat at it.
He's the goat at it, and the best part about it is, like, I love how everybody can come together and collectively make fun of somebody, because obviously that is ridiculous and everybody's making fun of them, but also shine the spotlight on the other people that do it too, because you need to realize that that is extremely corny what you're doing, and just that guy is loaded out the wazoo, is driving nice cars, nice watches, has a nice place to live in, and people are sitting there clowning him, and you're clowning him too. So
Yeah.
just
I
something
mean,
to be
good for him. I think if I was a billionaire, I would probably hire a camera crew to follow me around and do whatever the hell I wanted. I would definitely would not do daily videos like that. I
no.
would be traveling, doing very cool stuff, then making a YouTube video, like then do the whole YouTube thing. But I would have nothing to do with the filming, editing. They would just be there. I would be living my life. I don't blame people for doing that. Like the Nelk Boys are the perfect example. They've set themselves up perfectly. Like, I don't know if he gets enough credit or maybe he does, but Osgood is like the most important member of all the Nelk Boys, and he's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
But he's like, I guess Kyle actually he did some editing. I think he did editing back in the day. Obviously, now
Him
they have
him
everyone, but
before
they've
their
set
come
themselves
up,
up. They have a huge
before
following, and they're gonna get views anytime that they post something. So, if I'm them, I'm doing the exact same thing. They're killing it.
during their come up, their who was editing the videos was Kyle and MTV Jesse. So they'd be
Yeah,
filming daily vlogs, come home that night, dump the footage, and get ready to post. So it
Yeah,
was those two
that's
guys.
impressive. But that's like, I mean, now hindsight's 2020. Like, I wish that we would have done that in 2020, literally in 2020, in the old J Circle house. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of interesting content we would have done, but now everyone's doing it. But like they did it before it was cool. Now if you're
Yeah.
doing it, you're kind of just an imposter. It feels like.
Yeah, it feels like right now, like what's next? Like that's
I don't
I would
know.
be I'd be looking for what's next if I was
Yeah.
people. Like,
I always think about that. Like, what is the idea that nobody like? I don't know who the first day in the life video guy was, but what's that next big idea that everyone's going to catch on to that trend?
or even how like you said, how everybody's hopping on video currently, etc. What is the next way people are going to distribute their video or their content or whatever that may be? So I definitely think that's interesting. But
Is there any new platforms that are going to come out? Like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok? Is there anything new that could actually be big?
I don't know. There's a music ranking app that's relatively new, and the developers are out of New York. It's called Echo,
Echo, huh?
and I I'm like one of the like I started on that app like a few months ago, so I'm like I have like the at name Stevie and all this stuff. If you want to use it, I can send you an invite code. I still think it might be invite only, but it's a music ranking app where you can rank albums, kind of like similar to a letterboxed, which is like movie ranking system. So I think that could be another way where people consume rankings. I mean, obviously letterboxed is massive.
Letterbox. Next up, invest in it now, people.
Echo.
Echo.
Echo. Get Echo. If you guys haven't gotten Echo yet and you like music, get Echo. Rank your favorite albums. The interface is beautiful and it's fun to use, and it actually makes you sit down. I think so much now is like everybody's like so quick to like scroll on Instagram Reels or
Yeah.
whatever. It actually allows you to sit down, process an entire album, take an hour plus, and sit there and process something, and then write how you feel about it, whether it be short or long. I don't know your style, but that's what I like about it. It slows things down a little bit more.
Hell yeah. That's cool. What else is going on in the universe right now that's interesting?
I think these GOP-1 drugs, the constant discussion around them is like
What is this?
so
I don't
interesting.
even know what this is.
GOP-1 drugs are like Ozempic,
Oh,
any sort of diabetic medicine
yeah.
that is going around right now, and literally everything that all the studies and everything that's going on around about it is that it is a literal miracle drug. Obviously, Ozempic has gotten a negative light shined on it because as any other drug in the world, it could be abused. And just as anything else that you can do, you can abuse it or you can have like a healthy balance of it. Ozempic has been around since like the early 2010s and they've been testing it forever. And now it's a little bit more mainstream. It literally helps with like impulse control, it helps with inflammation, so it helps with your brain, it helps with cognitive activity, and it helps prevent like Alzheimer's. And
Wow.
it helps people like with obviously their food addiction, if they're gambling. And I think that those drugs get a little bit of a bad rap because it's really the focus of it, at least when you're outside looking in. A lot of people is just like, oh, it's just to like lose weight, but there is other very highly
Hmm.
um, valuable things that can come from the drug. The only downside of it is probably it deteriorates your muscles like a little bit quicker. So if you're not like an avid weightlifter or train your muscles, it could probably obviously your muscle is extremely important extreme as you get older as well. So that could be an issue
Now,
for
is it something that through your research that you're supposed to like be on, get to a point that you want to get to, and then get off, or is it like a lifelong thing?
I think it could be potentially a lifelong like consumable that you would consume. And I don't know though exactly. I think that's probably the next question, or there's probably an answer out there, and I just don't know it. But everything that I have dove into about this, and it's been since like last year it kind of got on my radar when people started talking about Ozempic, and it was
Mhm.
just like, oh, it's the weight loss drug, but there's a lot more to that drug than that. So that's what I think has been interesting, like in the news and what what people have been talking about. And I don't know. Have you heard anything about that? Do you know anything about it? Like, what do you?
No, it's funny because someone, I won't say their name, but someone I used to work with in 2022 used to pull people aside who were typically morbidly obese and recommend a doctor who is like a professional, knows everything about this, and actually will like put you through a trial. And that was in 2022. I feel like it was 2023, but really like 2024, where that has become extremely mainstream. It's called, and they refer to it as semiglutide, which is what the drug is actually. That's like the real name. Like there's Adderall, but it's like amphetamine salts. There's Ozempic, but it's really semiglutide. But it's kind of funny, and so this has been around, but it's so interesting how mainstream has become. Where I see like, I think like Hims, who does like dick pills and hair
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 loss.
stuff. Now they have one. Now they're doing this, and it's
Mhm.
just like, and you can kind of just get it. You could talk to a doctor online, and they can prescribe it for you, which I would say is probably not the best way to do it.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
But I don't know. Maybe it works. But it is so interesting how these, I don't want to call it a fad, but all these like health trends like start, and I think they are good, but I'm assuming that there's people out there who have had terrible effects of it, and that probably has something to do with who is actually overseeing, if anyone is overseeing them. But no, I'll have to look into that. I've never heard of any of the. I don't know exactly what it does. I've just heard it like curbs your appetite, but I'm like, I wonder if you are taking the shot and then you smoke weed or do an edible, like, are you are you still, does it still curb your appetite? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's more of a mental, it reworks your inner workings of your brain to allow you to have better impulse control.
Yeah, I think it does something to one of your organs. I don't know what this is. Someone was just telling me about this the other day. I think it does something to one of your organs where it like shuts something down in your brain.
Yeah, and this is people act, or obviously they don't everybody doesn't know, but, like, this drug has been on the market since 2008. Like, this has been tested, like, it's been around. We've watched people have this like play out for a really long time, and now it's starting to pick up more popularity because now it's kind of doctors have seen it play out and know that this is something that they can depend on. And I mean, it's hot. I mean, apparently in the Jeff Wittick, the guy that does like the
Yeah.
barbershop show on YouTube and stuff, his boy Cody is like his career is being an Ozempic dealer in California. So
Really?
yeah, that's what he does. He just gets
So,
people
but
Ozempic.
like legally, you're saying?
I don't think that it is legal or illegal. I don't think he can get in trouble for it. It's probably, but he's
Oh,
probably
okay.
doing it.
So it's not regulated.
He's probably doing it in a non-ethical way.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Wow. So that's your big thing nowadays.
Well, that's just something. I mean, if we want to switch, I mean, if you don't mind, like I found Peyton Talbot the other day for the first time.
So awesome.
I found it because uh one of the music Twitter accounts that I follow tweeted out new Frank Ocean snippet, and it was a Frank Ocean snippet. If people don't know who Frank Ocean is, go listen to Blonde. It's one of the best albums of our generation. Amazing piece of work. He commented under the video and was like edited by me. So I clicked on it and I saw like Peyton Talbot, clicked on his YouTube. Then I was like, oh, this guy's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Watch the YouTube video where the Frank Ocean clip was, and he creates, him and his creative team create beautiful pieces of art.
It's amazing, and another guy who they do all the editing themselves. I don't know who his buddy is, but uh he's like, when did I first see him? I saw like his first fight in the UFC, And he was just like, I don't know, there's something like some guys just have that it factor. Like he just like has it. The look, it's not even his look, his demeanor, the way he fights. Until his last fight, he like sucked for whatever reason. I don't know what happened there. But then I started listening to all his interviews when like MMA media people would have him on,
Like
and
Ariel and
yeah,
stuff.
Ariel, and like, and then I would like go look at his stuff, and it's not for me, but it's certainly fascinating. And he's a really good Instagram follow. Where I think, and now he has like all these different. Like he got invited before his last fight to go skate with Tony Hawk, and like this
Yeah.
was like his third fight in the UFC. Like this stuff typically doesn't happen, but the UFC saw something in him and like hook him up with all these different opportunities. But yeah, there's some people just have that like interesting demeanor, it factor that you're just fascinated and don't really know what it is, but you just want to watch everything they do.
I
But
mean, the best example is like, I mean, Frank Ocean hasn't come out with an album since 2016. He hardly makes public appearances. He's one of like the most revered artists like in our generation, and he just chose Peyton to be able to preview like a snippet of his song, which he hardly ever gives people an opportunity to do. So you're right. Some people just flat have it.
yeah, I mean,
I
and some people have it all.
literally, I started a new form of content, that not really new form of content, but a new thing that I'm trying for me personally, like on my content that I like to produce. And it's called YouTube channels you should be watching.
Okay.
And I'm a, as you know, and you are too, like we're both big YouTube guys. Like we have probably a bunch of niche channels that we have. So
Oh yeah.
I shouted out the Peyton Talbot YouTube channel the other day. I mean, he's still relatively, I think he's got like 40,000 subscribers. So I mean, it's still relatively new. So me and Herf was on it way before me. So maybe we're on to something before everybody else as well.
Yeah, I think it's still early. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, most of the people, the most interesting guy I listen to, YouTuber, is MMA Guru. Do you know who MMA Guru is?
No, I don't know
Have
who
you ever
that is.
scrolled past him? You
Mm-mm.
would be very confused if you saw him. His videos pretty much look like me, just a black in the back and then just one light hitting him. But he's like this British dude, I think, and
Yeah,
he's
I've
just
seen.
he sounds the way he talks is freaking hilarious, and the way he talks is funny, and I like his stuff. It's all MMA related, so that's my guy. That's who I listen to is the MMA Guru.
You're sitting here, and we talked about it earlier, like production wise on videos. This guy's sitting, I'm watching one video right now.
Yeah,
He's sitting in front of a green screen in a black room with an overgrown beard, wearing a beanie.
yeah,
And this video has been up for 18 hours. It has over 100,000 views, and he has almost 300,000 subscribers. So
yeah.
there's really no formula. I feel like a lot of people get caught in that things need to be done a certain way, or there needs to be a certain formula. But if you can find something that works for you and stay authentic to yourself, you could just as easily blow up as anybody else.
That's crazy. I mean, he's been posting. He talks about it a lot. And first of all, he didn't take the beanie off for years. He
Yeah,
kept the beanie on, and he had like a massive beanie reveal. It
yeah,
was pretty fascinating, and like I don't know, it's so funny as you get a following, and he goes like live all the time, and like he built up such an interesting following where like there's all these bits that people made about him. Like one is that he like is in a wheelchair, and then he finally stood up one day and he's actually like 6'6" and like massive, but you can't
yeah.
really tell. He has
That's
this long
because it's
hair.
just his face.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just like, but there was all these like assumptions made about him, and I don't know. The internet is just so interesting. I'm addicted to all the apps and the internet, but I would have definitely thrived in a different time.
He does have 4.2K videos posted on his
Yeah,
platform, so
he's
he's been
been
posting
posting
forever.
like every day, hours on end for 6 years, I think. I don't know
So crazy.
exactly when, but I mean, that's why you just got to keep 2017 he joined, but you just got to keep posting. And I feel like everyone thinks like right now I'm like, it's too late to do anything. But I thought that in 2020 Danny and I started the podcast in 2020. It's like idiots. Like I think about it, it kind of pisses me off. It's like if we just would have kept doing like an episode a day or a week, got you naturally just get better, but compounding interest over 5 years, like probably have a
It
good
adds up.
product, probably have people actually following you, tuning in, you could actually do something. But most people just give up. But the ones who just keep going, it might actually turn into something.
You
You got to
have
be
to.
consistent. That's
You
the
have to.
key.
You always have to try. That's
Yeah.
the main thing. You have to. If you have any interest in doing it, like if you have a specific lane that you like or whatever, and you're like, you know what, I want to do this. Obviously, if you're doing it for financial gain at first, you might be really upset and it could probably discourage you a little bit because you're probably not going to get financial gain. But if you actually like it and can find a way to like fall in love with the process, then
Yeah.
you never know. Dude, I got some good news I need to share with you. I
Did we
got
sign?
I
Let's go.
got my grant writing certificate
Oh,
from
I saw
Temple.
that from Temple University. Let's go. Congrats.
Thanks, boss.
I'll tell you what, like, I talk to people around town all the time, and they're like, that is one niche that nobody wants to do, but like, you automatically have some value in Harrisburg or just
Yeah.
anywhere if you can do that. So, like, are you utilizing ChatGPT for that? Like, how does that work? We had to do one. I took like a semester of grant writing, and it was hell. It was definitely not for me at Penn State, but like, walk me through that a little bit.
I'm a strong writer, like I've always been. I just think that like it's more tedious than it is hard. You just have to pretty much follow
Yeah,
instructions and have an understanding of what the people that you're representing and the message that you're trying to get across, obviously, because that's crafting a narrative, and you're in this business as well as some of the most important stuff that you could be doing. Do I utilize Chat GPT? Yes. And if
you
anybody
have
is
to,
not utilizing these AI programs such as Chat GPT, Grammarly, to fix your grammar and be a personal assistant to you and help speed up your workflow, you are years behind and you need to automatically start incorporating that into your everyday life with everything that you do. Don't make it your personality because then you will get lazy. Use it as a tool just as you would use a tool anything else.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, we had a conference the other day, like 250 people in the room, and they asked everyone to raise their hand if they've used ChatGPT. 100%. Have you used it in the last month? 90%. Have you used it in the last week? 60%. Have you used it today? It's like 30%. It's like everyone is using it. It's pretty crazy. And if you're not, then what are you doing?
Yeah, I think what a lot of people are kind of failing to realize is that we are in this crazy information or technology boom. Like in the next, I mean, there are already people, whether you like to recognize it or not, that have robots and that live with robots that do their laundry, fold their clothes, make them dinner, like charge their phones at night. Like the Kardashians have a Tesla robot. And there are robots on the market right now that you can use. And this is a free, if you don't want to pay for the real version of it, a free personal assistant that you have at your fingertips.
It's literally right there. And that's another thing that came quick. Like 2022, it was kind of here. 23, 24. Now everyone's using it. It's just so mainstream. It moves so quick. It's crazy. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm hungry. It's dark. I'm tired. It was good to catch up. I just realized I never even posted the last one we did on election day. I'm gonna get that posted. Gonna get this posted. Keep saying we're gonna do one a week. Maybe we'll get to this next week.
Dude, I feel like
But
I feel like you didn't talk enough this time. I felt like I talked
no,
too
this
much,
was
so I'm
great. This is what
sorry.
I want to do. I actually like have a list of people like like I really want to talk to Grant Brenneman. I'd like to get Grant Brenneman on the Herf Jones Pod and talk to him about the new business that he started. Because it kind of I'm just like interested in like following trends, and right now like social media is a big one, and he started a company that pretty much does all the media for companies. So instead of like hiring and doing it internally, you can go to Arvello Media and they do it all for you. They have people who can record, edit, post, do it all.
Do you have like literally 2 more minutes? Because
Yeah, of course.
so I had a call with Adam today about
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
another manor. It went really well. I think that we're going to get some things done for him that he needs. The second thing that he was going to do was he was going to contact Ray about getting involved in the political sphere.
Yeah,
And I was
for
like,
sure.
well, why would you not contact me? And KC were on the phone. Was like,
Yeah,
why
I
would you
mean,
not
come on.
contact us? So
Fucking
I have a
Ray.
call actually with him and Grant tomorrow. And I think a good idea. Adam said that he wanted to do it in the political campaign space. I think
100%.
I think that's a good idea. I think another good idea is getting the people who are sitting in the seats right now, who kind of do all of this, spend all this time promoting themselves and campaigning, and then once they get in the seat, they kind of like go silent.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a few people that I actually have in mind already that I think would be good candidates and that I have relationships with. But that's going to be a lane that I'm going to talk to them tomorrow and see if we can actually go after that. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, the best thing about campaigns is they have like unlimited money, it feels like.
Yeah,
So they
literally.
could do very well there. Yeah, it's so interesting. Like Dave McCormick just won. He's now a senator and he's like doing like weekly update. Like they post so much on social where this like I feel like before even just like companies, athletes, elected officials, everyone felt like before everyone's hiding. Like you don't want to get much information out. Now you got to put it all out. It's fascinating, but
Yeah.
they really, I mean, I think they kind of like caught this wave at the right time, like not too early, not too late, but yeah, I mean that could be absolutely massive if they could do that, and I love it. Yeah, you should make those connections, and then you should get like a referral link. You should be compensated every time that
Oh,
someone signs up.
boss, 100%.
That's what it's all about, dude.
100%.
Referrals are the way to go.
Adam would do the same thing. So
Oh yeah,
nice.
100%.
Hey, boss.
I love it.
I appreciate it. It was nice talking to you, but
Cool.
I'll let you go.
Sounds good, brother. Have a good night. Good talking to you. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Episode 5, we're going to get this posted. Someday we're going to get to 50, 100 episodes. It might take 10 years, but we're going to get there.
I love it.
All right. See you, bro.
See ya.